Welcome to another edition of Ipswich Living. I'm Amelia DeVita. We continue our look at Ipswich division by division. Today Division 2 is in the spotlight. On the show we'll check out some very special work being done to assist victims of the flood and meet some of our flood affected community. We'll get some insight into the very popular Jacaranda Festival, update you on Ipswich Motorway and check out some of the heritage of the area. Later a wrap up of coming events. We have a big show, so let's take a look at Division 2 in the city of Ipswich.
Division 2 takes in Goodna, Gales, Camira, Bellbird Park, Augustin Heights and Redbank. Known as the Greater Goodna area, it covers an area of 27.37 square kilometres. The local councillor is Paul Tully, who is the longest serving councillor in the city's history. The area has a population of 14,989 people, which represents 10.77% of the total Ipswich population. The average age of the residents in the division is 32 years. The division is at the eastern end of the city and is bounded to the north by the Brisbane River. Its history can be traced back to 1823, when it was originally visited by an exploration party led by John Oxley. The area is a blend of the established, very new. Division 2 is a fascinating place.
There are many historical features in and around Division 2. One of them has a strong link to the past and today is a favourite watering hole for many locals. Our team went out to Brisbane Terrace to check it out.
The first mail route awarded to Cobb & Co in Queensland was from Ipswich to Toowoomba in 1865. Mail was transported by Cobb & Co coach from Brisbane to Ipswich, then by rail from Ipswich to Grantchester and then back to the coach from Grantchester for the rest of the route to Toowoomba and Drayton. Goodna was a stopover for Cobb & Co coaches, and where better than the aptly named Royal Mail Hotel. The Royal Mail Hotel was established in the 1860s. It's believed that this present hotel is not on the original site but has significant history, having been built in 1894. Andrew Cafe is the licensee of the hotel.
It's a strong working class area in this area, and it's very much a local oasis, and it's broadening its appeal to people that come from Brisbane because of the nature of the building. Goodna, a halfway point between Brisbane and Ipswich, and a beautiful river just across here. I'm sure it was a popular stopping spot. It was just a natural stopping spot. There wasn't much consideration for the historical nature of the hotel. And it's more the last 20 years of us taking out false ceilings, and the front veranda was enclosed with orange house brick, and taking everything out, gutting the building gradually, scraping down the walls and cleaning it out. I'm sure the bar area was a lot smaller in the old days and the emphasis would have been on accommodation, but these days it's very much a drinking place. It does take a long time for word of mouth, but we concentrate on a certain style of music that's not going to annoy our neighbours, and we concentrate on doing music in the daytime so the artists have an opportunity to get another gig at night time. So we start fairly early in the daytime and don't go late at night, and we're able to attract some high quality artists that are on festival circuits that have heard about us on the grapevine and just want to come and do an old pub. Yes, we had our first blues jam on Sunday, but we did have a grand opening with Dallas Frasca and quite a few festival artists, and it was the biggest day we've ever had in 25 years. It was very exciting, but now we're just looking forward to getting back to normal. Oh, there's definitely been a sense of relief that we're open. Definitely a positive relief that we're open. People that sometimes thought we weren't going to reopen, but that was never in doubt. Just took us longer than we thought to get everything ready again. Mostly that people seem calmer and less demanding of us behind the bar at the moment, which is quite nice. Yeah.
Next up, the story behind the Ipswich Motorway, a very special partnership to give Ipswich a much needed road upgrade. This is Ipswich Living. Just what does it take to keep the traffic flowing and do a major road upgrade at the same time? What are the real benefits of the Ipswich Motorway and arterial road upgrades for the local area? The answer is in an alliance between specialist companies and the state government. Alliance Manager Mick O'Dwyer from Origin Alliance explains.
So when it comes to Origin Alliance being with state government, how did that relationship come about, and what do you see are the distinct benefits of building a road system in the partnership arrangement you have?
Yeah, I think relationship contracting is the name of the game these days anyway, but the alliance form of contract actually brings the client into the group and the designers and in this case 3 constructors together, and the synergies of that are what provides the terrific outcomes that we've got, the outstanding results that we've had so far. The way it was formed, in a normal alliance, Main Roads would go out and seek expressions of interest from partners. So people would partner up already and say, here's us, we're the alliance. I don't know if you remember, but back in early 2008, the economy was sort of on the up, everything was on fire, you know, there's lots going on, and so Main Roads made the call, well, we're not sure if we're going to get the best team if we do that, because these people are busy. So what we'll do is we'll go out to the industry and say, no, we just want to hear who you've got available for this job, and then we'll decide who to partner, which was a very brave decision by Main Roads, but it's paid off. You know, a little bit of work in getting all the organisations to drop their culture and pick up on the one culture, but certainly paid off in terms of the results that we're getting today.
Now, in terms of the way in which you have embraced the road system, you talked about the various levels of road system and getting the local suburban interconnect. How much involvement has the community had to give you that kind of information, to understand what their needs are?
But certainly in the early planning stages there was an enormous amount of consultation that was gone through with basically 3 communities along this route. And as I understand it, that sort of process was well and truly sort of done. We now continue to hold the torch, and we have a reasonably large community team, people who look after the community's interests, make sure they're informed about what we're doing, you know, and respond to complaints and what have you.
What does it really mean in terms of human resources to actually undertake a project like this? Give us an insight into what Origin Alliance is really carrying to make this happen.
So it's a good month to ask that question. Actually, this month we're over 1,000 people employed on this project, including subcontractors. Historically, we started in June 2008, and our design houses did the heavy lifting then, and ramped up with 120 staff within about 2 months, which was pretty fantastic effort. The operations area grew more slowly, as obviously because there wasn't a design to build. But now we're running at about 250 operations staff and support staff. Design staff has dwindled now down to about 50 because the design is nearing completion. Our field numbers are something over 515 today, and we have well over 150, or it might be over 200 subcontractors. So hopefully that adds up to a bit over 1,000.
On a personal note, as an engineer coming into a project like this, what does it mean to you to be able to head up a team and to oversee and develop something that is not only an amazing engineering feat, but also something that is so significantly needed to really cope with the significant population growth?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is fantastic. There's no other word for it. You know, you sit here as the project director and look at the opportunities we're able to give our people in terms of career advancement. The guys on this job have been here for 2.5 years, have been promoted throughout the job, they have learnt more. The opportunity we have, because it's such a long job in terms of time, in the community to provide assistance. You know, we have 3 local charities that we provide to. We have a fantastic school-based traineeship program going where we're getting kids out of Year 12 and training them. So for me, this job is about what we can do as a visitor in this community for the community, as well as provide this vital piece of infrastructure that they need. So yeah, fantastic is the answer to that question.
And in terms as an organisation, I'm assuming then you just continue to look at developing other projects, and you'll move to another project similar to this, or
certainly my home organisation. Yeah. So this alliance will be disbanded eventually. It's an artificial. It's not a legal entity. It's an artificial body that's created with the express intent of constructing this project. So once this project's done, this alliance disbands, and the home organisations then just take their people back. Yeah. So who knows what's next.
The Goodna Jacaranda Festival is a very special part of the community. Russell Dewar is the president of the festival committee, and we spoke to him recently about the festival and its place in the division and the wider community.
In the current format, the Jacaranda Festival of Goodna has been going for 30 odd years, but I have been told by some of the older residents in the area that it's been going for well over 45 years. I've been president for, this is my 8th year. Prior to that, I was vice president for 3 years. Well, it's all 100% funded by the community and businesses. The Goodna RSL is one of our major sponsors, and also the Ipswich City Council. It's been going for so long. It is the biggest festival in the whole of Ipswich, and I'm pretty sure it's probably the biggest festival in southeast Queensland that I know of. It totally involves the community. It's for the community. There's no money-making schemes for individuals. It's all about, putting on a fun event where the community can come along and join in. There's no cost for entry. We have free entertainment. One of our major entertainment things, which we started in 2010, was Rockfest, where we have some major, rock and roll stars from the 60s. This year we have Angry Anderson is one of our headliners, and it's all free, so you can come along and sit down and watch the whole entertainment at no cost. We would not have a festival in any way, shape and form if it wasn't for the community. A lot of the entertainment on stages is our local schools, our local community groups that want to entertain. The same as the parade, it's all 100% community based, and the committee and the organising team, we're all unpaid volunteers, so it's all community groups, and all the people on the committee and the board are all from other community groups that are involved in the festival. I'd say that the free entry would be a big one for a lot of the local families. We are trying to keep it going and keep changes going on, so it's not the same old festival every year. We try to improve on everything we've done in previous years, and we get a reasonably good turnout. We're pretty happy about it, and it's been growing. As the festival goes for 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The Friday night we have a primary school variety night. We have some fantastic entertainers from our local primary schools. You get nothing but raving remarks from all the people in the audience. It's one of the most entertaining parts of the weekend. We also have on the Saturday afternoon the Talent Quest. It's also been going many, many years, and we've had people from our Talent Quest go to perform on Australian Idol and other shows like that. So we've got a lot of good local talent, and that they get the chance to perform and get experience on the stage. Plus the old stuff, like we've got the rides and the carny stuff and the show bags and the junk food that the kids and families like, and plus you get your little knickknacks and little mum and dad stores that can come along and sell whatever they like, and community groups. Community groups can come down and put stalls in free of charge. It's can pretty well sell nearly anything they like. I think that the future's very bright. It's definitely going forward. There's no signs of fading. I think we're going to be around for many, many years. I can't see any reason for it not to be.
A look at the events happening in Ipswich is up next. This is Ipswich Living. The 2011 Melbourne International Comedy Festival Roadshow is coming to the Ipswich Civic Centre. This is the 13th year that the Melbourne International Comedy Festival has hit the road, and it will be at the theatre on May 10, commencing at 7:30 p.m. Adult tickets are $29.50 and concession tickets are just $27.50. You can book now for this amazing show. Star of screen and stage Tom Burlinson, in his latest musical production Now We're Swingin', is a sensational swinging salute to the masters of the genre and will be coming to the Ipswich Civic Centre on June 4 at 7:30 p.m. Adult tickets are $45, concession tickets are just $39. The show will feature songs from the greats like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Michael Bublé and Robbie Williams. Book now for this special Ipswich performance. The Ipswich Festival is on in May this year from the 18th to the 29th and will feature the best performers from the region who will join with the nation's major artists in a 14-day celebration. For full details, go to ipswichfestival.com.au and make sure you're a part of this exciting time. Kids can come and create an eco-clay animation with Basil Grumble and get up close with some native animals these school holidays. Learn and develop skills in sculpture with clay, concept development and set and prop construction. It's all part of Kids Go Wild at Queen's Park, to be held at the Queen's Park Environmental Education Centre, Merle Finmore Avenue, Queen's Park, Ipswich Central. Just a note that Gecko's Wildlife Native Animal presentation will be on Tuesday the 19th of April from 10 to 11 a.m, all part of this great activity. Go Wild with Basil Grumble Eco Clay Animation Workshop on Thursday the 21st of April, 2 till 4 p.m. Register at basilgrumble.com. One event that's left the mark for all the wrong reasons is the recent floods. Here is a special look at how it has affected the community.
The 2011 floods in January significantly impacted upon Goodna. 1974 levels were met and in many cases surpassing those recorded. Today the river takes on a tranquil feel, yet the signs of its power evident, from the riverbanks to the homes and businesses left devastated by this tragedy. The sheer force of the water and the volume of it is evident as many local spots became inundated and isolated. The motorway became a watercourse. The popular St Ives shopping centre went from this to this. Across the road, a strip of shops and services all equally dealt a blow, going from this to this. Many today having moved to higher ground, others rebuilding. The empty car park, a clear sign that there's still much to do. But the declaration of "we will be back" defiantly declared to a river that has cost so much. The community spirit was as strong as the water that coursed through the streets of this suburb. Many businesses are now returning, others awaiting news of insurance claims. Like the rest of the city, it's slowly but surely getting back on its feet, with final touches being made to a number of businesses ready to get back to business and returning some normality to a community hit hard.
For many people, the return to anything that looks normal is a long way off. Ashley Jones spent time with the coordinator of community care for Westlife Church and some of the residents impacted by the flood.
Well, this is like any other day here in Goodna, except of course around us is a heap of rubbish that is still remnants of the recent flood. Tremendous amount of work is continuing to go on here in the suburb, and one of the people leading that joins me now, Kathy Beecham from Westlife Church and the Community Care Coordinator. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Great. Now, of course, the work that you're doing here is ongoing, and I guess as we've all kind of moved on, you're here right in the midst of some 600 homes, I understand, where you're still having to work with a number of those here in Goodna.
Yeah, they're saying there's around 600 homes in the Goodna area that were flood affected. So there's a number of those that we are helping in any way, which way we can. So it's a day-to-day job.
Now, how did the church get to be involved in this sort of project?
I arrived down the ground on the Friday. The floods hit on the Tuesday night. We arrived on the Friday, just doing cups of tea, food, just doing what we could for the volunteers and the residents. And we proceeded to do that over a few days, and then we moved to the RSL building on Brisbane Terrace and have been there ever since in a demountable. So our role has changed as the needs have changed. It's gone, as I said, from cups of tea to providing 2 meals a day. We have a community laundry thanks to council. We have a community shower that we've been able to, to give for the residents, so which has been wonderful.
So what could we practically do to help you?
Okay, log on to westlifechurch.org.au and financially give towards the appeal. if you're a volunteer that you know how to build or any sort of trade, you know, we can certainly utilise it as well. So there's many ways to get involved, and it doesn't have to be a huge commitment. It can just be one day. So there's many ways.
Well, Nora is a lady that's here, and she's going to take us on a bit of a tour and also give us some insight into what she's been through. Let's go and meet her. Well, Nora, how long have you been here in the Goodna area?
I live here 18 plus years, yes.
And so, come January 2011, obviously some significant things occurred. Can you just describe some of the things that took place as we had that incredible downpour?
Yes, the police came about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I knocked on our doors, and I said we probably have to get ready to get out of our homes, to pack the necessary, which we did. And most of us went out. The water was coming very, very quickly, so most of us came out and saved our cars, because the people that waited a bit longer, they couldn't save the cars anymore. The water was coming really fast up, yeah.
So, what did you do? How did you start again?
You have a good laugh, good cry, and good friends around you, and you just keep going.
So then, of course, the Operation Gyprock as an organisation came along. What has that meant to you?
New walls, and actually a new beginning. Yes, yes. Without the people like Cathy, Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, the Global Care, the volunteers. Without all those people, we wouldn't be as far as we are now. Yes, I keep saying that, but they are the angels. They really are.
Well, we certainly wish you all the best in the rebuilding process.
Thank you very much. With people like Cathy, we're gonna make it. Yes.
Well, we're talking with Brian and Marion, two down here now at Lower William Street. Kath, first, just before we chat to these two, how did you get the call for this one?
Brian actually come and visited me yesterday in the office. He found out his insurance had been declined, so he needed to then come back and sort of go, you know, what can we do to help him? So, yeah.
In terms of what you've seen within the Goodna area, how would you rate this house?
It's probably one of the worst ones I've come to. It goes beyond what we do. So now we need to sort of source some further information, see what we can do to find out structurally what we can do with this home.
Brian, when it came to the flood, tell us what you witnessed as that floodwater started to rise.
Well, I didn't think it was going to do anything like it did. The creek at the bottom was coming up the street, but once the water started to go and I saw what it had done, it was, I couldn't believe it. And
so you had to evacuate then the home fairly quickly?
Yes, we were told by the police about half an hour to get out, so I started packing up the car. He said, I'll come back to make sure you're okay. He came back within 25 minutes and said, don't worry about the car, mate, you won't get that out.
We've lost a car. Oh, pretty sad. Never mind.
Now, also, prior to this, you've been both struggling with health issues as well?
Yes. What have I got?
Yeah, Marion had an aneurysm and I had cancer surgery last year, and that is still ongoing, so we didn't really need the floods.
No. The floods come and certainly obviously left a mark quite significantly there in your dwelling. Insurance company now is saying no.
That's right.
When you look at that dwelling and you've had to wait, and I guess as we look now inside, we see nothing could have been done. The water's subsided, it's had to be left like it is, and my understanding is that's because you need to wait to actually get the assessors in to make that. Is that the way it is?
That's right. And if you look at the house, it's a pretty sad, really sad sight.
Yeah.
The other side of what you picked up, though, is the community spirit, and that's certainly something that seems to be very strong here in Goodna. How would you rate it, firstly?
Oh, look, the community spirit's been fantastic. Yeah, everyone's on a roller coaster ride, and days, you know, some days are good and some days are really tough. But overall, the way the community is band together and organisations, you know, it's been fantastic. Yeah.
And what's your view of it?
I agree. Absolutely.
Some lovely people in Goodna. I think for a lot of people in Goodna, the reality of what's happened hasn't really hit yet. It's going to take a long while for this community to resemble normality, I think.
A tough community?
Oh yeah, very tough. I'm happy, very proud to live here.
See you next week for a look at Division 3 at what's happening in Ipswich City. I'm Amelia DeVita. Goodbye.